What's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of Who's the Artist? Now, I know some of my other ones have been kind of easy. I've been checking the feedback, looking at the comments, and some of you guys are right. I am doing a good job doing this. So thank you. And I say that because I work hard to bring you this content, right? And so when I was thinking, who's an artist that I could showcase? I picked an artist that I really didn't know much about, even though they're a popular artist, world renowned, I should say. I mean, everybody knows this artist, but I didn't know much about this artist. So I thought, "Hmm, let me find somebody that I feel would challenge me, but would allow me to grow as well." And I chose this artist today that I want to share with you. This artist threw eggs at another group while they're performing on tour together, mind you, which resulted in a fight afterwards. That's how gangsta this artist is. This artist is an actor, musician, producer, and director, also known as a sex symbol now. They're a workaholic. This artist had a queen size bed put in the middle of the studio. That's how uh, dedicated this artist is to their craft. Throughout the course of their career, they had to change their name to navigate the record company's control of their music, which is a gangster move, and uh, I've yet to see that duplicated elsewhere. Um, they've produced songs under the alias of Jamie Starr, and he did this. Well, I gave it away. It's a him. He did this for artists across multiple genres. It wasn't just in the genre they're known for, but he has penned songs for artists across different genres. He taught himself to play instruments. In 3 years, he taught himself to play the keyboard, guitar, drums, all that. And he honed his craft in a friend's basement. He was born epileptic and had seizures as a child. Started receiving record deals at the age of 15 and turned them down because he wanted creative control. Ultimately, at the age of 19, he wrote, produced, and played all the instruments, performed all that for his first debut album. This artist is 5'3", so it's a short artist. And if you don't know by now, I'm talking about none other. Today's show is brought to you by Zen Space Cleaning and Organization. Is your space feeling chaotic or cluttered or just overwhelmed? Let Zen Space Cleaning and Organization bring calm to your day. They clean homes and businesses across Portland and the metro area, leaving every room spotless and every corner organized. And here's a gift you'll love. Your first scheduled cleaning includes a free 30-minute organization consultation for any area you want. Kitchens, desks, closets, you name it. Breathe easier, move easier, work easier. Zen Space Cleaning and Organization. Book today at 971-507-9993 or visit www.zenspacecleaning.com. Again, that's 971-507-9993. Zen Space Cleaning and Organization, where clean meets calm. Now back to the show. Prince Rogers Nelson. Prince Rogers Nelson. What can I say about this artist? Prince grew up with a very strict father. They were Seventh-day Adventists growing up, and so he was always preaching to them about the Lord and things of that nature. But while he was preaching at home, he was at night a jazz pianist playing in bars and things like that, where he had women who would sing these raunchy songs and, appeal to the men and things of that nature. However, they did it back in the day, right? Prince was born in 1958, so you figure this has to be in the 60s time frame. And when he was on stage, guess what he went by? Prince Rogers Nelson. Like, he actually took his son's name. He named his son Prince Rogers Nelson. Cool band. I guess he felt that was a good name to name a child that you want to be famous, but he thought it was a cool name and he used it himself. Prince's mom, if you didn't know, she also was one of those singers, and I think that might have been how she met Prince's father. They had 2 kids together, a son and a daughter, and for one reason or the other, somewhere around the age of 10 or 11, Prince's father and mother separated, and Prince went to stay with his mother for a little bit, and Prince talked about how his mom gave him, like, Playboys and stuff like that. Maybe that was her way of trying to see if Prince was gay or her way of trying to talk to him and explain the birds or the bees. We don't know, right? But for whatever reason, she gave her young son these sexually charged magazines. And this was one of the things that I wouldn't say bothered Prince, but started his curiosity as far as sexuality is concerned. I don't know what happened, but at some point in their life, the mom told him, "You need to go stay with your daddy." So he went back to stay with his dad, and his dad used to tell him, "Boy, don't you ever get married. Don't you get no girl pregnant, blah, blah, blah." Every man probably tells this to their son, because they don't want to repeat the cycles maybe that they've been through or they see that's going on in the culture, in the world. So Prince, growing up in Minneapolis, 1% black population, not only was he short in stature, but he was light skinned. And me being light skinned, I understand what it feels like to be bullied. And Prince said he was picked on and teased a lot because of his skin color, because of his height, things of that nature. And so, in order to get cool, he played ball and he had to become good at it. He wanted to go pro, but he stopped growing. 5'3", you're a little too small to play basketball. I remember Spud Webb was 5'4", so I shouldn't say that. But, needless to say, he became a recluse and he just honed his craft of playing the music. And he learned to play music, like I said before, in his friend's basement. He did that for 3 years. And when he finally emerged, people weren't teasing him no more. They were talking about his skill set when it came to playing instruments. And Prince could play instruments better than the people in his band. So if you listen to a lot of the songs, he is playing the instrumentation of those songs. Everybody kind of knows the story a little bit of his rise to fame. But some of the stuff people don't know is how Prince, after Purple Rain, and I think the next one was, oh no, Around the World in a Day, Parade, Sign of the Times, he started to see something, how, he wanted to own his music. He figured, since he came into the industry, he had it his way. But Purple Rain was such a big song, and Warner Brothers wouldn't relinquish the rights to that masters to Prince. And so Prince, if he wanted that, he would have to go re-record it and in order to have his own master recording of that album. And that didn't sit right with him. He didn't like people owning the art that he creates. He created it, he feel he should own it. So in an effort to try to get out of that deal, he wrote Slave on his cheek. And for a while, you know, they ignored it. But you know how the culture is. We'll rally behind you. And it got to the point where it became such a stink. Warner Brothers just let him go. And, at one point he was performing under that symbol and known as the artist formerly known as. And once he finally got out of that contract, he was able to start using the moniker Prince again. Because remember, they own the rights to his name and all that. And until this day, he still doesn't own the rights to Purple Rain. His family has some input when it comes to the re-releasing of deluxe albums and things of that nature of Prince's music, but I mean of Purple Rain, but he doesn't own, or his estate doesn't own the masters to Purple Rain, which is tragic. Prince didn't do a lot of interviews, but if you ever go back and watch his interviews, he talks about his father a lot. When I was doing my preparation and my research to do this video for you, I discovered some stuff about Prince that I didn't know. And when he was younger, he kind of criticized his dad a lot, talked about how his dad was super hard on him, he was never perfect in his dad's eyes, never right in his dad's eyes. When he did Purple Rain and he was estranged from his father. His father kicked him out the house because Prince bought a girl in. And his dad told him, "Don't you get them girls pregnant, blah, blah, blah." Came home, caught him with a girl, and he kicked him out. Prince called and called his sister. Sister talked to the dad, and she told him, "Just call your dad. Just call daddy and apologize to him." Prince tried that. He told him no. So Prince ultimately had to go live. He couldn't go back to his mama's house, couldn't go to his daddy's house. had to live with his family. And once he dropped Purple Rain and got, you know, became this mega star, now he's rolling in the dough. Him and his father get back together. He bought his dad a house, car, all that good stuff. Him and his dad's playing pool. And his dad still was criticizing his music, telling him he shouldn't cuss in the music, blah, blah, blah. Prince always felt like he just wanted his dad's approval and couldn't get it. And so even when his father died, Prince still had this yearning for his father's approval and never could get it, which is sad because I think a lot of us men live like that. But anyways, Prince went on to write songs that other people would cover: Tevin Campbell, Shaka Khan, Sinead O'Connor, the Bangles, just to name a few. So this was Prince. I hope I was able to give you something that you enjoyed. And like I said, if you enjoyed the album Purple Rain, you can go watch my other video on No Skips, and where I highlight the album Purple Rain, which I think is a phenomenal album if you haven't heard it yet. I'm pretty sure you have. It's sold well over 25 million copies. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I want to ask that you do so now. Now's the time. I mean, I'm making dope content, y'all, and I'm doing this for y'all. So thank you for your encouraging words. They put a battery in my back. It helps me remain motivated to do stuff like this because, truth be told, it's not easy. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of research. It may look easy. I might make it look easy, but it really isn't. So thank you for all your support, all your energy and time just watching the videos. All right. So until next time, peace.